What would you do if your own sister stole your fiancé and then had the audacity to invite you to their wedding? Most people would refuse to go, maybe hide away in shame. But me? I showed up, sat quietly, and when the time was right, I stood up and revealed the truth so loud that it left the entire room in shock, and their perfect day in ruins. My name is Emily. I'm 29, and I was once engaged to a man I thought was my soulmate, Ryan. We met at a charity event, and for 3 years, I believed he was the man I'd spend forever with. He was charming, attentive, and my family adored him. Or so I thought. The betrayal didn't come from some stranger or coworker. It came from the last person I ever expected. My own sister, Hannah, who's 2 years younger than me. Hannah and I had always had a rocky relationship. She was competitive, spoiled, and craved attention. Growing up, she always tried to outshine me, in school, with friends, even with boys. But I never imagined she'd go this far. One night, Ryan came home acting distant. When I pressed him, he finally confessed he had feelings for Hannah. My world collapsed. Within weeks, he broke off our engagement, and to add insult to injury, Hannah flaunted him on social media like she'd won some prize. I cut them both off, focused on healing, and told myself karma would handle it. But then, 6 months later, I received a wedding invitation. Hannah and Ryan were getting married, and she had the nerve to invite me. At first, I wanted to throw the invitation in the trash. Why should I show up just to be humiliated again? But then, something inside me shifted. If she wanted me there, fine, I'd go. But I wouldn't sit quietly. I'd make sure her perfect wedding was anything but. The big day arrived. The venue was a fancy country club filled with roses, chandeliers, and laughter. Hannah looked like a queen in her gown, Ryan stood tall in his suit, and the smugness on their faces made my stomach turn. But I forced myself to sit, smile, and wait. The ceremony went smoothly, and soon we were at the reception. People were drinking, dancing, and making toasts. I kept my composure, sipping my wine, biding my time. Then came the moment when the officiant said, "If anyone has any objections, speak now or forever hold your peace." The room was silent, and that's when I stood up. My heart was pounding, but my voice was steady. Yes, I have something to say. Every head turned. Hannah's smile froze. Ryan's jaw clenched. I looked around the room and said, "You all should know that this isn't a fairy tale love story. Hannah didn't just fall in love. She stole my fiancé, the man I was engaged to, the man I thought I'd spend forever with, and she paraded it like a trophy." Gasps filled the room. Hannah's face turned beet red. "Emily, sit down," she snapped. But I didn't. I turned to Ryan. You looked me in the eye, promised me forever, and then threw it all away for my sister. And Hannah, you've always been jealous of me. But stealing my fiancé? That's not love. That's desperation." The room was dead silent. Hannah's boss, yes, her boss, was sitting just 2 tables away. He looked horrified. Ryan's parents looked embarrassed beyond belief, and guests whispered to each other, shaking their heads. Finally, I said, "So go ahead, have your wedding. But don't pretend it's built on love. It's built on betrayal." With that, I walked out. The fallout? Brutal. Half the guests left early, disgusted. Hannah's boss later questioned her professionalism, and word got around the office. Ryan's parents, who had supported the relationship, admitted they were ashamed. And Hannah? She tried to reach out to me weeks later, saying I'd ruined her big day. I just laughed. No, Hannah. You ruined it the moment you decided betraying your sister was worth a man who can't keep his vows. Ryan and Hannah did get married, but their dream wedding is remembered by everyone as the day the bride got publicly exposed. And that was my revenge.